The
Yes.
sound, there was
Yes.
inconsistent in the sound quality that was coming. It was bad at a point, is good, and all that.
Okay, so from my point, at a point, the Wizkid band needed some kind of quality. I would have.
Was it a
Yes,
live
we
band
needed
event? Is it
a
something that he was going to play a live band, or he was going to be solely a DJ kind of thing?
Wizkid with an artist of Wizkid caliber would always play a live band, and then with a live rock event company.
DJ Paco Rich.
Yes, my people. Welcome to your favorite channel right here on YouTube. If today is your first time watching my videos, kindly subscribe and hit on the notification bell. Here we dey make the proper conversation. We dey go into details. See, say you go understand. No, say we dey stand for the roadside, and we don't judge. We know they judge here with emotions. We dey talk wisdom. So Wizkid had a show in Ghana. It was well promoted. Myself, I saw it on TV3. I'm sure they were the official media partners. I mean, I felt it was going too well that we were going to receive a lot of people. But then we waked up and the conversation on the internet wasn't so good. A lot of people were cursing the star boy. People today insult them. People say, some people say, they say unprintable words I can't repeat on this platform. But I feel it is right for us to go into details and not take the positions of fans. Find out what really happened. So there is one brother of mine, Zola. He was playing a very major role in the event. I would like to speak to him, find out what he knows, what happens, and then the way forward, things that we should do so that we wouldn't have such incident repeating itself again. Because mind you, Kizz Daniel is also performing on 23rd of December. And I think this isn't too good much of news for him, because already he's had his own thing with this Tanzania people. And Wizkid also having this with Ghana. Wizkid no show up for the event. R2B's no show up for the event. Kim Promise no show up for the event. Zola, how you doing?
Brother,
Long time.
headquarters of it's been a very long time. It's been a very long time. You invited me to the headquarters of violence.
Hey, right now, I know they do violence like that.
Headquarters of violence.
How you go do our brother? So, I learned you were part of the organizing crew, people that were behind the stage, people were trying to pull strings to make sure that the event becomes a successful one. We see a lot of videos on the internet. I mean, I can play some. I mean, these are some of the highlights, the great moments that people were enjoying. And then these are also when people were angry walking out of the premises and all that. Zola, what really happened at the Accra Sports Stadium last night?
Oh, okay. Let me say hi to the viewers, and then each and every concerned music lover, and then a Wizkid fan, and then a Ghanaian who came out in number to support the event. It's quite unfortunate everything ended up how it ended, but then from my view as an stage runner, I was an event runner. I was in charge of artists moving from backstage to the stage to perform, giving them their time to perform, in charge of sound check, and then a whole lot. I think this would have been a history, and then one of the things to have happened in the books of the Ghanaian entertainment fraternity, because mostly what we've seen in our spaces, most of the shows are outdoor or very limited space kind of events. With regards to stadium shows, we've never seen any artist in our space play a 360 with the likes of Fronty Gardens filling the stadium. When you go there, it's not a 360 kind of feeling. It's a half, it's a quarter of the stadium because it's just a one-sided thing. And then most of the events that we've known, it's never been a 360. That's time to be corrected. But then it looked very good. It looks very appealing to the masses. But then, just like we all know, the unfortunate happened at the latter part. Just because there were issues beyond control from both Wizkid'S camp and then the organizing team's camp. From where I stand, everything was going on smoothly. Everything because we started the show, even though we didn't start it at the time we wanted to start it, which was 7 o'clock a.m. Initially, it was supposed to be 4 p.m., but then with certain technical issues which were beyond control, it wasn't just minor issues that event organizers would just wake up and just be like, okay, Charlie, let's fix it and just move on. No, it was issues beyond control because it took hours for these things to be fixed before we even the whole sound check then, and then the show started with first set of performance,
Is
second
it
set of
is it is
performance.
it electrical problem or something?
Okay, so actually, we had issues, not electrical, but then I think sound. There was an issue with the sound thing, and
Uh,
then people
I,
getting on stage.
I mean, with my little bit of knowledge, when we say about sound, the sound is being powered by electricity. So it is either we are saying that the equipment that they brought were faulty, and I don't think an event of that caliber will hire a production house that will produce or bring faulty equipment there. What really happened? Is it
Okay, so
electrical
first of
problem?
no, it wasn't electrical because every power that we needed for the show was on. So I was working under a foreign-based people, like one from UK and then one from South Africa. They were in charge of the stage and making sure sound quality on stage was very perfect before we could do anything. Those in charge of sound were Charlie. So an intertwining thing, Ghanaian working with both Nigerians and Ghanaians to make the thing look good. Just like I said, these are professionals that won't just a minor thing ruin the show. No, they wouldn't just let a minor thing ruin the show. So, like I said, it was an issue beyond control. Issue that we couldn't even know where the issue was coming with. Because at a point, sound was looking even from the was looking good, and then at a point they had to go off, he had to do which I think the technical people might know the reason why it was happening so. But for me, where I stand, I was directly with the artists from the backstage, from the parking lot to the backstage to going to the stage. So I was directly in charge of their route, where they need to pass, where they so whatever happened was more of technical. That was the main reason why the show delayed.
All right.
But
So
then
to wrap it up on the technical bit, I mean, technical has a lot of departments, so we would put a blame on sound quality, right? The
yes,
sound that was
yes.
inconsistent in the sound quality that was coming. It was bad at a point, is good, and all that.
Okay, so from my point, at a point, the Wizkid band needed some kind of quality. I would have
Was it a
yes,
live
it
band
needed
event? Is it
a
something that he was going to play a live band, or he was going to be solely a DJ kind of thing?
Wizkid with an artist of Wizkid caliber would always play a live band, and then with a live hop event company, we always want to do the A game kind of thing, which is a live band thing. So aside Wizkid, all the artists were going to do the PA system with the DJs, come with the DJ, come play, mime, move. But then the rest were going to play with a live, like I said, the rest, Wizkid was going to play with a live band. Wizkid team were at the stadium on time to do their sound check, to do whatever they had to do. Wizkid not performing looks a bit confusing because from where I stand, coordinating artists, I was told he was on his way, and then I knew that Wizkid was around when his band approached them. Were like, "Yo, you need to go to the stage and then get things done for a man to step on stage." But then, like I said, I was at the backstage waiting for him to arrive. Then I just front my people that he's in, then we move. But the only thing I saw was that his band have left the stage again, coming back to the backstage to the artist lounge, and I was like, yo, what's happening? So I had to go back to my supervisor and then talk to him. Mas, he did a very great job. White man, he's from UK. Mas, he did a very great job, and then together with who is from South Africa, yo, these two guys did massively well. These two guys did massively well, bro. Like I said, issues like coming out, Wizkid this, Wizkid that. Me, I will urge every fan, every music lover, to either have patience and then wait for a pressure from both camps. I know live have, I don't know if it's official, but then they've released a statement saying they will see Wizkid.
Well, with this I have on my screen here, it says, Dear Life Hub, Wizkid breached his contract obligation last night, and we sincerely apologize for the inconveniences caused. We will issue a full refunds to all paid tickets. Please send your barcode to the Live Hub info. So which means that there are actually measures put in place to refund people's money to them, but that is not even the issue, because you can actually refund people's money to them, but people spent time and you can't refund that. People stood there. I mean, there is a video of a Nigerian, I'll play it on your screen very soon. He left home at 4 p.m. and then he got to the place, and then up to 4 a.m. Wizkid no show up. Now the challenge people are having is that aside from Wizkid not showing up, people were having issues with one person would perform and it would take a very long time for another person to step on stage to also perform. There are times that there was no communication between the MC and the audience. As somebody that you were helping in the coordination of this show, what was really the problem behind the stage?
Okay, so I think I would have, if okay, yes, I'll have to do this, because with most of our artists, most of our artists and egos, most of them didn't arrive on time. Even when we gave each and everyone the time they need to be there, the time they need to be on stage. It got to a time, artists report to me that, yo, I'm in, I'm this, and then when it gets to 5 minutes for the artist to step on stage, you don't even know where the artist is. You get me? An artist will give you a silly excuse of, no, I have to do a call, I have to do this, and then the call will take longer than he's supposed to go on stage. Because for me, I prepared every artist, especially the first set of artists, to perform 30 minutes before their stage time. So I made sure they were all in the artist and before anything else. But artists and their ego and stuff, someone will wake up and be like, no, I need to make a call, I have to talk to this person, I have to do this. Meanwhile, it wasn't part of what you're supposed to do there. You're supposed to go on stage and then do this thing and then put your A game together and then move away. Then again, certain artists, DJs had issues with their plugins, with their plugin of laptops to the system we were using, the event organizers were using. So that was also part of the problems. But then we got those sorted out. And then comes back to the artist's attitude and ego, because I know they comported themselves, but then when I hand them over to them, most of them come back to call me and be like, yo, bro, what's happening? And I was like, no, those things at the stage you handle, you guys, we just handle it. And it all boils down to them not having patience to even do whatever you're supposed to do. Someone goes there, and then once someone is already on stage, he wants to join the person on stage, which shouldn't be so. The show needs to be cordially done. It shouldn't be like those kind of shows that everybody just go in and out. But then with me, with the MC, with coordination and everything, was very perfect. Very, very perfect.
Zola, I think I would disagree with you a lot, because I think the organizers were left to control the show. So if people are not doing what they should do, you people have to stand on your grounds. There are several times that we've used global citizen concept as a yardstick to measure events here in Ghana. We saw that event, spectacular event, managed and produced by Global Citizen. We know that Live Hub is an international body. They are well experienced. So for us to be, hearing some of these things, that an artist comes and when he's ready to be on stage, he or she is nowhere to be found. It's quite not so nice. It doesn't sound well in the ears of somebody who came in to enjoy show. And I'm sure as a result of these things are part of the reason why Wizkid, being the headline artist, is receiving a lot of backlash. I'm sure some heads definitely needs to roll, because it is because certain people didn't do their work well. Because you probably might have done your work well, but it's teamwork. So if one person also fails to deliver, definitely we might have all these lapses. From your submission, the
whole issue is,
okay.
So the whole issue is, yes, we did our work well. An artist getting ready and set to be on stage, a DJ, an artist, and then whatever. But then the reason why I kept mentioning artists is most of these artists were supposed to be there on time to have their machines and other things fixed and then tried and tested the set time. But most of them didn't even. It was only Ifya who came for sound check and made sure everything was in place before her performance time. So Ifya had a very smooth performance, but for the rest that were complaining about this, blah, 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 blah. Most of them just came just the time we gave them for performance, and then, like I said, 30 minutes earlier to their performance time. So when you go on stage and then there are certain technical issues, how do you? Then you have to pause a little bit, let the music flow, do some kind of coordination, do some kind of course or some kind of certain things to get those things fixed before the artist gets on stage. And then again, most of the issue, like I said, were not from the stage guys, but then like the sound and everything. So like it was an issue beyond control, not from artists, not from artists, not from organization, not from venue owners or something like that. But then it was an issue that rectifying the problem, an issue that I think Live Hub as a professional event never thought of. Because like I said, I was working under a professional, Mars and then Munya. These guys were very great. Very, very great. They made sure everything was on point. They made sure we had to go according to plan. So with our side as the coordination and then getting artists ready, and everything was superb. With people saying MCs, and then Kojo Manuel did a very superb work. But you see, at a point, we had to run the show quick because we were far behind time. A show we were supposed to start around 4, we moved it to 7, and then we started around 8:39. So we needed to run the show very quick. So I think most of these things happens when you want to run a show very quick. Like I said, so these were issues beyond control.
Okay, quickly. Let's put hold on that. I think we've had a clear understanding of what really happened. But there is one major challenge which I think I saw Shatawale making a speech on that in the history of Ghana, nobody has ever done a 360 at the Accra Sports Stadium or any of the stadiums. And then we are charging as much as 270, 600, and 3,000 to fill a 40,000 capacity. You and I, with our experience in this industry, know that, especially with this economic hardship, it was quite impossible for us to fill the stadium. From few, information that we've gathered online is that, and even from certain people, is that Wizkid was not so comfortable performing to such number of audience, because mind you, he's an international brand. He has competitions, he has other footages of other events that he's done, that he's been able to sell out a whole lot of venues. So if we knew that Wizkid, or the price that we want to take, cannot cover up the whole stadium, we could have done conference center, we could have done other places and charge. You and I know that people that attend shows at stadium, there are certain people, they care so much about their safety and they feel that the stadium is quite rowdy. So those with a white collar job, those who are A-list people, those who see themselves as big people, wouldn't come to the stadium. And the prices that we were quoting were prices for these people. The Streets Boys, we should have lowered the price. We should have gotten the Streets Boys 100 cities, 50 cities. I'm sure we could have filled that 40,000 capacity. So I feel that on the side of the event organizers, there was a little bit of inexperience, which I know you are part of them, so you wouldn't entirely accept, and I agree, which I agree if you don't accept it. But the fact still remains that something was wrong. It's either with the pricing, or it's either about the positioning of the stage. Because if clearly we did half of the stage, and then Wizkid saw that, okay, I'm performing this way, and this side of the stadium is filled, he wouldn't have felt bad to back up, especially when sound was also giving him issues. You can say what you want to say.
Okay, so from the ticketing perspective, and then so this is it. For me, I wasn't playing an integral role. My role was just to be in charge of the artists, event run, make sure they are on time to get on stage, make sure they are okay. Like I was a talent manager for this event. I was a talent manager for this event, so I wasn't playing an integral role. I had a different department. With ticketing, yes, you and I know venues needs to be considered when you pricing it for an event. Yes, regardless of whatever happened, I can tell you for a fact that the VIP and the VVIP were packed, were very packed. Those were the people very closer to the stage. You see the numbers, it was really packed.
What happened to people that paid 600 CDs that never had any seats to sit on?
So that's what I'm saying. You see, it was an e-ticketing kind of purchasing. So maybe people bought in SS because there was no limitation to it. So maybe you get there and then the sitting arrangement for me.
But that is unprofessional. That is unprofessional, because you should know the number of tickets you are selling and the number of seats you're going to have. I think.
Okay, so
organizers fail.
Let me not say what. Let me not. No, but let me say. Let me not say what I don't know, because for me, with the side of ticketing and everything, I have no idea of it. I was supposed to be a talent manager for this event. I was in charge of artists, so I had no clue of how the sitting arrangement was going to be. I had no clue of whoever will have a blue band, wherever the person will sit, because I had people approaching me that with a VIP tag and were like, "Yo, bro, where do I sit? Where do I go?" And I was like, "Yo, I don't know any." Just found out from the security people, because the security people were in charge of this thing. Because for me, I was in charge of talent, made sure they are at the parking lounge, take them to the artists to rest 30 minutes or 15 minutes before their time, get on stage to perform, move them back, and then let them go to wherever they are supposed to go after the show. So I was in charge of the artist safety rather than any other thing. People were assigned to these things. Let me go back to the safety of with ticketing and stuff. Yes, Live Up, I think, worked with Ghanaians at any of their departments, and I think they might have made their research well before putting out ticket pricing. Like I said, from where I stand, I can't pinpoint whatever was the issue with the ticketing and then the numbers not coming, because we had a promo team as well. There was a promo team who were in charge of making sure promo is done perfectly. People are buying tickets and then blah blah, a whole lot of things. I had a different department. Yes, you have a very valid point. Nobody, like I said from the beginning of my conversation, nobody has ever played a 360 show. No, even with the half ones, they charge lesser than what the even Live Hub was charging for Whiskey show. We know, but then Live Hub, just like you said, as a professional company, they know what they were in for, wanted to achieve. And then with their ticket, and then they came out with that ticketing pricing. They could have chosen a conference center and even go higher than whatever they charge. They might have even chosen to play a free show at the Independence Square. So with that side, I have no clue of it. For me, I was just a talent manager, so I can just tell you on my field because I was really. Anytime I go there, I was really focusing on my field because my field was very, very important.
Yeah, I
Very, very,
understand
very,
you.
very
I
important to the
understand
people.
you. I understand you perfectly. But one thing we should all know is that, in as much your field is important, it has to connect with other things to bring out a very successful show. I think we've done almost about 25 minutes of this conversation, and I think we've made a lot of great revelations and made sense. People on this channel will attest that Kiss Daniel was having a show. He's about to have a show on 23rd, and I think this will actually have some kind of negative mindset in the heads of the people. But I'm giving guys my word that things are well streamlined and they should come in their normies, and then things like this wouldn't happen. It happens, but once, like Sammy Flex will always say. We'd like to draw the curtains down on this conversation as well, but there is one thing. I remember when I said that, I told the team of Kiss Daniel on YouTube that they should bring down the price of their tickets because of economic hardship in Ghana. I had a lot of people bashing me, misunderstanding me from Nigeria. Oh, it's too cheap and all that. But my interest was that of the artist, because no matter what happens, the bashing doesn't go to the organizers, because the person who is going to enjoy the show has less knowledge about who is organizing the show. The brand of the artist is at stake. So sometimes I think the artists, in as much they are also charging huge amounts, they should be in bed in line with the organizers to understand that, see, you are doing a show in my name, and definitely I would have a backlash if things don't go well. So if I, the artist, am charging too much, you need to calm down so that you have a very successful event. Because it doesn't make sense when you are charging so high and you have a little number. But charging a little number when you can actually fill 40,000 capacity, that would be great and that would be historic. So Zola, I thank you for your time, thank you for your contribution, and if you have any other last words, you can also let people know and tell people where they can follow you, your business and what you do, so that they can also engage you in other things you do.
Okay, so thanks for this opportunity once again. And then first and foremost, I want to appreciate Live Hub for giving me the opportunity to be especially NYB, and then working under Mars, and then Munya, and then Cynthia. Cynthia was one lady who was very hardworking from Wizkid'S team. She was very hardworking and then made sure everything. That lady is so hardworking. That lady. I think she's a plug. She's a major plug in the Nigerian industry, because we had a conversation after the show, and then she was doing good. So I think the next, let's not give up on Wizkid. Let's not pinpoint blames, or let's not blame each other that much, because I know organizers and then Wizkid will make it happen proper at the right time. I know process will be out very soon for each and everyone to understand whatever went on proper. Afro Nation is just around the corner. Kizana is coming, just like you said. So let's not give up on our arts, or maybe of our industry, because this doesn't speak well of the Ghanaian industry at all. It doesn't. For me, I'm really hurt. Yo, bro, Pakovic, we had a big surprise here last night. A big surprise last night, Pakovic. But unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Everything is messed up, you know.
Yeah. So better still, you can follow me on social media, live news GH on social media. You can reach me. You can reach me through that channel, or maybe Zolani on all social media platform. And then a manager, a promoter, a distributor, and then a content creator as well, event planning and management as well. So hopefully you can still get in touch for us to connect more.
All
Thanks
right.
for your time, and
All
then
right.
thanks for your time.
All right, my brother. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your contribution. So, people, it is not just about getting on the other side of the issue and ranting, saying all things, insulting people. Sometimes you have to go deep intellectual, get to the issue, find people that matters most around the issue, and have the conversation with them. Find out what really happened. You understand? So, I think this is a lesson we're all going to learn. I've seen a couple of messages coming from Nigerians also feeling that their artists are refusing to perform more in Nigeria for them, and then they deserve this kind of treatment in Ghana. No, this is not a deliberate attempt. I read a message which is very, very, they make sense. Somebody that talks say be Ghanaians where they sabotage Wizkid. No, Ghanaians actually wanted to enjoy Wizkid. Wizkid has been part of Ghana from day one. The relationship between Wizkid, R2Bs, and Ifia and Kim Promise is just lovely. And I'm sure he will do anything to grow it up. So people, this is the reason why we had all this misunderstanding. But I'm sure organizers and Wizkid will make it up to fanatics. Deeply, I'm sure they are sorry. There will be communications on their platforms to let people know that it wasn't a deliberate thing to, make them unhappy. But I'm sure things will work better another time. This is DJ Parker Rich right here on the channel called DJ Parker Rich. Subscribe and let's share. Share your thoughts, share your views. Let me know what you also think. And follow Zolani on all platforms. Let's have great conversations. Bye-bye.
DJ Parker Rich.